Good evening. We are back. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Happy Friday. We're back. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening.
How the devil are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. It's last time we did this was Christmas.
Right, well, a long time ago.
Christmas, mate. So we've been a little bit busy. I've had another baby. Lee's been busy building businesses here, there, and everywhere, and well, we're just a bit tired after a manic 21. So we're back, and we're going to go back to our regular bi-weekly broadcasts on FaceTube and UFace. And while we're just waiting for people to join us, I'm just going to go ahead and share the link with everybody. So just please bear with me. I'm going to put this on my tablet as well. Do that.
Waiting for a few people to come on.
Yep. Good evening, Michael. How are you? Hope everybody's well. So let me just share this.
Can you see who's watching? Oh, hi, Michael. Comment took a while to come through for me.
Yep. So just sharing this on socials, and then we'll get back on it. So how's your week been, Lee?
Hectic, mate. Hectic, if I'm being honest. But it has been for a while. So, yeah, all good. All good. Just lots to do. Busy times. All work and no play.
This is true.
We shouldn't grumble, should we?
No, we shouldn't. Right, so let me just put this on LinkedIn. Hold on. Bear with.
It
Hold on.
Feels like years since we've done this.
I know. I've missed it, to be honest. I have missed it. We've always had good chats, and we've had good guests, and we've always got things talking. So, no, it's going to be good. Right, let me just put this on LinkedIn, and then we're good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. It's been... It's good to get back into it and keep doing them.
It is. Right, so... That is all good. We're live. McDermott's is here.
Well,
how are you, McDermott's? How are you, buddy? Right.
Thank God it's bank holiday, he says.
Here.
I agree, but I could do with working. So it's good to have the time off, but it's not good.
It's been a while since I've had a beer, to be honest. Half the reasons I drank last year because we did this. My only excuse to have a drink and unwind in front of you lot. We've got more people joining us on YouTube now. Michael, your background has gone weird. The logo is right, but the text is backwards. Ah. It will be, yeah. Sorry, Michael. You just have to deal with that one. I can't turn the... No, it is right. I'm right, I think. Anyway, never mind. I'll let that bother people's OCD. So, we've got a lot to talk about, Leopold. A lot has happened in 4 months.
Like we said, we've not done one since before Christmas, so loads to catch up on.
I don't even know where we'd start.
In fact, there's loads just this week. To be fair.
There is. And breaking news, Boris Becker's gone to jail. Boris Becker is in the slammer for fraud. Naughty man.
They've arrested the wrong Boris.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Should we say the politics once we've had a few drinks and we can really say what we think?
No, I'm not going into politics. There's far too much of that. We'll keep away from that. I've got a few. I'll tell you what. We'll throw it out to people listening. I've got a few things I want to talk about.
Oh yes.
In no particular order. Obviously, we'll talk about Boris Becker.
Okay.
Can't be bothered talking about Bojo.
Ducky's here. Hey up, Ducky. How you doing, pal?
Hey up, Ducky.
Michael says, shall we start with the death of triple glazing and the rise of VIG?
Hey up, so we'll have less of the death of triple glazing. Work-wise and different subjects, Ineos. Oh,
yes.
The owner has just put a bid in for Chelsea for $4.25 billion.
Yeah, so Ineos, I mean, we'll go into it a bit further, but Ineos are a major supplier at the very beginning of our supply chain. They're a chemical supplier to systems companies.
So we'll discuss that. Sector. Obviously, we're going to have to touch on price increases and...
Have you got any dad jokes lined up?
Oh, I'll find some, don't worry about that. We'll have some dad... We might even have a music quiz. We'll see how we go in. See how people feel later. Might have a music quiz.
Fair enough. In other breaking news, by the way, Lee has a ring light. You may see in the reflection of his glasses, he has invested in a ring light. So there will be no more looking at Lee at 9 o'clock at night looking like Darth Sidious from Star Wars when it gets too dark.
It's going to give me a headache. I can feel it burning my eyes.
They are quite warm. I've got my ring light broke actually, so I've had to get my big podcast light out. So I'm being blinded. So I've probably got too much light going on. So breaking news: Lee has invested in proper lighting.
Well, hopefully, I don't know whether he'll be here tonight, but that'll keep. He'll keep what's him called happy. Kev.
Oh yeah.
Kev complaining about my lighting.
Well, there's no excuse now.
Invest in new light bulbs, he said last time. So he'll be happy if he's on today, Kev.
He would. I always enjoy having Kev on. You always get live music with Kev as well.
So we're going to talk about price increases, I think. We may have a music quiz. Obviously, we'll come to... There's a lot of sports stuff going on at the minute. All sorts of stuff. Building regs and trickle vents.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We're there. The potential race to the bottom.
Already started, mate. Already started.
I can't even believe that. Anyway, we'll come to that later. And I want to discuss if there's enough innovation coming out of our industry or not and where it's going to come from in the future.
Okay, well, I can give you a shout out and answer to that one.
And we are going to talk about some new stuff we've got on with Fenix as well.
Why not? Why the devil not? Ian Duckworth says, is that solar powered, your ring light, Lee?
I think Jason's just done it to try and increase my energy bill. I think he does it on purpose. Invest in a light. I were all right.
You weren't all right. If you look back at old podcasts, you were in flipping...
I'd got my hamster generating power running round. We're all hunky-dory.
Oh, man. Well, look. What shall we start? Where shall we pick?
Well, we need to...
I mean, they're all cans of worms, really. I mean, no matter what we pick, there's someone going to be pissed off by the end of it.
We need to talk about something work-related first, because it's been a long time and there's a lot to discuss. Anyone else want to throw anything in? I mean, Michael said about the
death of triple glazing.
But we can talk about the potential rise in other glass.
Do you know what I've just thought?
Glazing will never die. It's like the Islander. immortal.
I'm going to share this to some Facebook groups as well. Do you know what? Let's start with triple glazing. Because Lee loves triple glazing. It's his heart and soul. It's the reason why he exists in this industry. Because his biggest regret is not backing triple glazing enough. The industry's missed a trick. We were all wrong. Every single one of us was wrong.
Well, yeah.
So, yes. So triple glazing, I believe, to set my point of view across, and much to the disdain of probably spacer bar companies, is the rise of VIG, vacuum insulated glazing. You might have seen Finio partnering up with the likes of Masterframe and then De Koenig in Europe. You're looking at an absolutely tiny unit with microscopic separators in between the glass to give you a 0.01 millimeter, I believe, cavity, vacuum formed, and it can give you values of, I believe, 0.7 or 0.8, which will absolutely future-proof it for future building regs, upgrades, downgrades, however you see them.
So okay, I'm going to play dumb on this because I'm not too up on this new glass tech that's coming through. What we like pricing?
It's a bit more expensive than triple, but then the offset is that you can store more of it.
Wait, let me just make a note. So that's a cross again.
Listen, that's the only one.
And a plus to triple.
That's the only one. Listen, but you have to offset that against. You can store more of the VIG because it's thin, so you can store more of it. You can transport more of it. You can fit more of it because there's less weight. Triple glazing, if suddenly everybody adopted it, you've got a lot more glass, a lot more weight, a lot more storage because there's less room. Hardware would have to be adapted. Every system's house would have to adapt their product. The modifications required for VIG are a lot less. So when you offset the initial cost of VIG versus the cost required to accommodate widespread triple glazing, and if we're going to get serious about our impact on the environment, VIG uses a lot less material to achieve the end goal.
Let's just wind this back. So from an installer point of view, you prefer it because it's not as heavy, so you're a bit lazy. You don't want to move.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, I didn't say that. That's not from me, folks. That was from Lee.
Before we get deep. No, I'm just asking you. Is that why you prefer it? Not anyone else. We've missed this. What's everyone drinking? I've got. Thank you to Jason. Bless him. He sent me a lovely bottle of Grey Goose for tonight. So I'm on the Grey Goose. Thank you, Jason.
You are very welcome, mate. And
you're a gentleman.
I am on some Brewdog Milkshake IPA.
You're a gent. Hi, Callum.
Callum's on.
All joking aside, because I don't know enough about this new glass. So I've got a question for you as a newbie to it. What's it like for setting up the process of making? You know, what is it? Does it need machinery setting up for IGU company? Well,
yeah, it's a completely different process. So it will require. Excuse me. It does require some investment on that front, but again, I think the person to speak to will be Michael and Alan at Masterframe. I mean, those two are leading the way on it, but from what I'm led to believe, it's not massive the amount of work that needs to go into producing it.
These are genuine questions, by the way.
No.
Just trying to find out a bit more about.
Michael is pointing out in the comments. The only reason it costs more at the moment is that it's not made in the UK right now. So you're having to import it. That's another one of the reasons. If you can start making it domestically, that's better.
So, Michael, a question then. Do you think the IGU companies will start investing in this in the UK? Do you think we will? Do you think we'll take it on board?
Wait for him to reply. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, if I were to take one of the sort of the star points of it, the impact on the environment. Everyone in every sector on planet Earth is being told, use less to do more. Well, VIG is a perfect example.
Okay, so again, pardon my ignorance here because my background's sales and marketing, so I don't know everything about the industry. So, would all the glass companies, your Pilch, your Saint-Gobains, Glass Solutions as it is now, Guardian and Co, will they all be able to make this kind of glass or what?
Yeah. So they'll still be able to rate the raw product for it, the raw glass.
So
for
it's
it.
not like a specialist new company.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just trying to get a grip because, like I said, I'm new to this. So
but you see, again, if I'm playing devil's advocate in this one, if I am making glass, I'm going to want to make more and sell more. So I can't. See, this is where the industry, I think, is perhaps going to split down the middle. I think you're probably going to get fabricators and installers backing VIG because of the fitting advantages, the storage advantages, the weight advantages. It's more cost effective because you can store more of it, make more of it, transport more of it. But if you make the glass and you make spacer bars, remember there's no spacer bars in VIG. So I can't see them backing it because spacer bars will sell less and they'll sell less glass if you're a glass maker. If everybody chooses VIG over triple, there's a lot less glass to be made. So
sales and marketing.
So I think the industry is going to split down the middle on that one, and it's going to be who shouts the loudest, probably.
Just keep your eyes on the comments on Facebook, Jason, because I can't really keep that open.
I've got to be honest. Most of our viewers are on YouTube. Comment on YouTube. We've got
we
people
do get
watching.
a few as it goes on though on Facebook. So just keep your eyes open. All right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'll have to find some more out about that. I know that Alan and Michael have been talking about it on social, but I'm not going to lie, I don't know enough about it at the minute. So.
I'm writing an explainer piece. It's quite long, but I've been given permission by Peter Campbell at Finio to use some of their material to create an explainer piece on DGB. So that will be coming out probably next week at some point. But that is where the battle's going to be, and it's going to be dictated by the U value. So U values by 2025 are going to be, the new minimum requirement is going to be 0.8, which is only 3 years away, and we're already at 1.4 now, so still a lot to drop, and it's going to be a race to which technology can get us to that end goal quickest and easiest and most cost effectively. Michael Egan, the glass is the same, the difference is how the units are sealed together, the lack of gas. Both AGC and Pilkington are actively manufacturing it. So Pilks is one of the first major glass houses to start making it, mate. So things are already moving. So
okay.
So there we go. Well, that was quite civilised.
Always civilised when it comes to triple glazing.
You what? So yes, so that's where we are with triple versus VIG. So they go. Oh, we've got a comment. Marky Cox on Facebook. VIG been out for years. Yeah, the technology has been out for years, but the adoption of it now seems to be moving.
Who's that? Is that Mark?
Marky Cox on Facebook. Good evening, Mark.
Evening, Mark. Get yourself on YouTube instead, so we can see you properly.
Might not be signed in. You never know. He's got a number 1 next to his name. Does that mean he's a fan of the page?
There's something going on.
It looks like he's got an award, like a fan badge next to him. Very cool. So, hi, okay. Oh, he's going to come over to YouTube, I think. So, fair enough. So, yeah, so triple versus VIG. I think economically, VIG should win, but I think some lobbying will perhaps force us the other way. But we will see. We will see. So,
well, I was looking on the news. I don't know if anyone knows anything about this. Talking about the industry and glazing. There was a big fire in Rowley Regis in Midlands, weren't there? A1, was it A1 glazing?
I believe so.
But I didn't. It had like an initial story, but then it didn't follow up with anything. So hoping everyone's all right down there. But
yeah, that is. Yeah, I think I saw something on Instagram as well. But you got to feel for whoever that happens to anybody. It's such a devastating, life-changing thing, a fire. It's just.
Do you remember the big one over in on the edge of Barnsley that had an explosion and a fire?
No.
What they call American company that I think took over Solidor and
Masonite.
I'm sure Masonite bought them as well.
Premdor.
Premdor, yeah.
Was there an explosion there as well?
Masonite, aren't they?
Yeah. So Masonite owns Solidor, Doorstop, and Masonite.
Yeah,
Solidor, Doorstop, and Premdor. Sorry. Yeah.
About 4 years ago. That
mad, absolutely mad.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, big explosion and the fire there as well.
Well, we obviously want to wish everyone at A1 the very best and hope everybody was safe and you're already making a plan to get back to business as quickly as you can and get back out there. It's devastating stuff.
So Mark's on YouTube now.
Yes, YouTube. We just seem to have migrated. Yeah, YouTube just seems to be more popular. So, anyway, VIG and triple finish now then. So, Ineos, the providers of pellet and other substances to our industry, right at the very top of the supply chain, the ex-owner or founder, I believe. What was his name? He's a sir now, isn't he? He's knighted. What's his name?
Stephen Lee. Can't remember his name.
Sir something of something. Anyway, he has made... He used to either run or own Ineos. He's made a £4.25 billion bid for Chelsea 2 weeks after the deadline. So I'm not sure if the government's going to take that seriously.
Well, I always said this is going to be interesting. Jim Ratcliffe, they call him.
That's the one.
I always said I wasn't surprised that the bids come under the amount that Abramovich wanted to give away to charity, to Ukraine charities. Now, this goes over and above, which means if it's accepted, it won't be kept by the government, if I'm to believe correct. It won't be accosted. It would go at the request of Abramovich to charities.
Yeah, but I don't think the government will get any money from it, even though they own it as an asset.
It's going to be interesting to see how serious they are about helping Ukraine.
Yeah. So
if they're serious.
So the government owns it. So the government owns it as an asset. The government owns Chelsea because they froze Roman Abramovich's assets. But if whoever it's sold to, the funds don't go to government. They don't go to Roman Abramovich, but they'll go to an appointed charity of Roman Abramovich. Is that correct?
Which is Ukraine war charities. Now, this is why I was always sceptical. I mean, obviously we've not had these for a while. It's just sceptical of me how every bid just drops a few $100 million below in a bid that big, so it doesn't go.
Do we know what the other bids are?
They're all the same, 2.5.
Right, okay.
They've rejected one and accepted, there's 3 on the shortlist. Now, I was very sceptical about why the bids were slightly below. It's not slightly, it's a lot of money, but you know what I'm talking about, a big enough bid. But now this is going to chuck it's going to upset the apple cart, because if they don't accept that, then it's a big 2 fingers up to the charities in Ukraine.
Well, do you think the government would be more inclined? Obviously, that the guy from, what was his name, Jim Ratcliffe, is the highest bid by the sounds of it. Then at 4.25, yeah.
By a country mile.
So, are the government not inclined to accept that, and him being a British owner as well?
Well, this is what I'm saying. We'll see, won't we? We'll see if it's in their own interest that they're accepting bids of 2.5, so they can pocket.
Because if it were me or you, Lee, I know we'd
be careful
do.
what I said, but you know.
Yeah, I know, but we'd accept the bigger bid because, in theory, more money goes to charity, wouldn't it?
But why were the bids below that amount? And were they going to ever go to charity? Were they trying to keep it? This is what I mean. We'll see, won't we? We'll see
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's what I think. Abramovich will play in a game with them to say, all right, well, you're not having it. We'll get it to a charity. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't think they'll accept his bid.
Well, it's 2 weeks out of date for a start. It's 2 weeks after the deadline. So,
okay.
I don't know.
But it's interesting. Someone from... You see, I was looking at the article and I didn't realise. I think they definitely own, I think it's Nice, French football team.
Yeah.
I think they own a football team in either Austria or Switzerland somewhere. And I think they have something to do with the ownership of Sky Cycling.
Right. I don't know, mate. I'm not.
Which I wasn't aware of.
I'm not an Ineos insider, so I don't know. But I know they're involved in quite a lot of stuff outside chemicals. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see what plays out. So, in other interesting news, Elon Musk bought Twitter, or is buying Twitter. And oh my God, there's some...
Yeah, we've invited him again to the podcast.
I know, we did invite him. Elon, you're missing out, pal, honestly. There's some very unhappy people about it. I don't know why. So, yeah, just in case you've not read the news, so the Twitter board has agreed a $44 billion deal with Elon Musk. He's liquidated some of his Tesla shares, which is one of the reasons why they've gone down this week. So I think he's liquidated $8.5 billion from Tesla shares to help buy it. He's got some private funding as well. And he's taken on a bit of debt as well to fund it. So it's a bit of a mishmash of money to get it. He's postulated about earning money from tweets, so revenue in tweets, authenticating all real humans on the platform to get rid of spam bots. And he's bought it, he says, to restore free speech and protect free speech. And then, lo and behold, a lot of people, after that particular comment, became unhappy. Not quite sure why. Because I always thought the idea of free speech was to try and tolerate someone else's opinions. But apparently not, Lee.
We all know that other people's opinions are not important unless they're theirs.
Oh, dear me.
The world we live in.
I tell you what, though. There's some backlash, I think, because people know he will turn in Twitter into what it should have been. Its absolute maximum potential. So you've seen a lot of pushback from businesses with interests elsewhere and other projects. And me and Lee were talking about this the other day. I think if you're LinkedIn, I'd be worried. So I think he wants to, have a bigger business spin on Twitter, which is obviously LinkedIn's thing. But then also the social side of it will be, I think, improved. So if you combine a business element, a proper business element within Twitter, I think if you're LinkedIn, might be a little bit worried.
I was LinkedIn or Facebook or even Instagram. Not so much TikTok; it's a different platform. But those three, I'd be worried.
Which is why.
Someone who doesn't rest on his laurels, he's not. He doesn't do things by half.
And he gets shit done, mate. He's not. This is the thing with private ownership. When you've got boards and shareholders, everything's got to be very considered, very thought through, trial and error. Jump through 50 hoops before you can implement a change. And the thing with private ownership, especially Elon Musk, he moves fast. So if he's got changes to make or ideas to implement, he'll do it. Some of them will work, some of them won't. And if they won't, and if they don't work, he'll rectify that quickly and he'll take it back. I agree with Mark Hickox. One of the first things I said to a journalist who replied to me a couple of days afterwards, I said that he would probably try and implement crypto payments for premium services, advertising and so on. And if he does that, Lee, that'll be one hell of a way to bring crypto into the true mainstream.
It would be nice. And apparently there's 30 million new sign-ups since he's been accepted.
I read that. Again, I tweeted the other day, I said that the mere fact Elon Musk now owns Twitter will bring people to Twitter. It really is as simple as that. Ducky and Mark saying Dogecoin payments being introduced on Twitter. I've got both. I'll have SHIB.
I've got some Doge.
I've got Doge, I've got SHIB, I've got XRP. I'm happy with any of them. As long as he picks those three, I'm good. So, I'm happy with that. Callum Williams saying, people only disagree with free speech if they aren't able to argue the point, so fair offence. Correct. Now, we're in danger of going... Go on, Lee.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, we're in danger of going down quite a profound rabbit hole here, so let's try and leave that a bit later on, but this is the point, and I think we have to learn... Because before social media, I think we were able to tolerate other people's views quite well. You know, you didn't just fall out because someone had a different opinion on these things. And hate speech certainly isn't just because you have a disagreeing point. Bloody hell, if me and Lee disagree that much, we'd both be in jail if that was the true definition of free speech. We won't be here. But I think what Elon's trying to do is just get things back to a point where, all right, people say different things and have a different opinion on things, and you may not like it, and you may not like it a lot. Doesn't make it hate speech. Doesn't make it abuse just because, I don't know, mainly have different values on politics and business and the direction of which way companies should go in. Don't mean I hate him. I think he's wrong, but don't mean I hate him. and you know what? And then me and Lee can go have a beer, and that's the whole point, isn't it?
I think I brought this up in one of the early podcasts we did in lockdown about the lack of ability to accept people's opinions. Yeah. You can disagree without falling out, and I don't think many people get that, especially on social media. It's a case of, if you're not going to agree with me, I'll spit my dummy out and never speak to you again, and we'll block you, or I don't like you. It doesn't have to be that way. If you're open-minded, I've got a lot of people who I follow on social media on different accounts, different platforms, that I've got total polar opposite views of. Don't mean I don't like them. Don't mean I'll fall out with them. They're entitled to their opinions. I'm entitled to mine. Do you know what? I might be wrong on 90% of what I talk about. I might be right on 90%. It might be 50-50, I have no idea, but that's the idea of having your own beliefs, you know. If we were all the same, it'd be a bland world, wouldn't it?
Everything would be grey vanilla. But just to be clear, there is a very definitive line between having an opposing opinion and what is hate. Hate speech is very obvious when you see it. It is very, very clear when you're very overt. Sam's here. Hi, Sam.
Evening,
nice
Sam.
To see you. It's very clear when you see hate speech, you know, calling for violence and abuse against people. That it's obvious when you see it. But I've also seen Twitter threads and YouTube comment threads descend into absolute chaos, all because someone's had a different opinion. And it just dives into the absolute pits of nastiness. And I just think, wow, this all started because someone else had a slightly different view on what they watched or what they read. I mean, I read a tweet about a report earlier today, Lee, from was it Forbes or Inc. or One of them, anyway. Someone's opinion was Elon Musk buying Twitter is apparently going to bring down his entire empire. Don't know quite how, but apparently there's an opinion out there that him buying Twitter is going to absolutely end him everything. I mean, there's some really, really hard opposition to him buying Twitter, and I'm like, why?
I'll put this down on all levels. People are scared to death of people talking. We're a funny breed as humans.
True.
If people don't agree with what you say, and it affects your, to some extent, it affects your livelihood or your general outset on life, they want to shut you down quickly.
If they're not
that
in your
goes from levels that we're at in business,
yeah,
which happens to businesses like us, like the people watching, they'll have the rivals that wanting to shut up, you're wrong, I don't, shut them down, they're belittle them as much as possible to.
Yeah.
So it's stopping them getting their point across because it's something that doesn't suit their agenda or their. And it's the same with, forget about business, it's the same with lifestyles. It doesn't suit your lifestyle. People don't want it to, football's not a family sport. It's a working man's sport. That if you don't like it, don't go. All that sort of stuff is stopping them doing what they used to like doing. So there's going to be objections and there's going to be infighting. Rather than discussing it and go, do you know what, times are changing, we should listen to this. But some of it's right. It's a working man's sport. Maybe there should be parts of the ground that's child-friendly and some that's, if you want to have a drink.
Bradford tried to do that, it don't work.
You're at that side of the ground. No, but you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
These things need discussing. They might not be viable, but if you discuss them, there's more chance of everyone being happy. The problem is, if it doesn't fit into your agenda, be it lifestyle, business, or political views, it's shut down straight away. That's society in general.
Well, the biggest reaction...
No one can debate. You listen to people like, and I was talking to you about...
Jordan Peterson
about how he speaks. People just don't talk. They don't discuss. They don't... There's certain traits in humans.
And he gets... And if you watch his videos, I mean, he's been accused of all sorts, Jordan Peterson, a Nazi, every word that ends in ick and ism. And... Yeah, Sam, I know Michael's already pulled it. Yes, I've printed my banner the wrong way around. Never mind. So, it is what it is. You'll just have to deal with it. And yes, I am used to taking stick. I'm more than used to taking sticks. I put it this way: if I take it as a compliment. If I'm getting stick, it means I'm probably doing something right. So that's how I take it. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Peterson, he's
not doing your printing right.
Well, I'll get stick for it then. What? But if you watch Jordan Peterson's videos and interviews, he doesn't get irate or animated. He doesn't get abusive. He just takes a point, takes an argument, takes a stance, explains his reasoning, and then backs it up with data, facts, and figures. You'll never see him in an interview just give his opinion without being able to back it up. It's very calculated and structured, his approach. And the opposition hate it. You watch the reaction to people debating him and they get frustrated and they get angry, but it's because they're unable to match his level of dissection in an argument.
Because, and this is if you listen to every interview, they all set out with the same, apart from the ones who were interviewing him as these podcasters that want to get his view. Most of the interviews you'll see with people like Jordan Peterson and the likes of him, they set out with the intention of proving him wrong, rather than debating his theory of why he thinks this.
Yeah.
Well, you said this. Well, no, I didn't. But you said you inferred this. No, I didn't. The whole thing of debating is a lost art. people just want to say you're wrong.
Yep. Without explaining.
Yeah.
Without being able to prove it. So the video that made him famous was the interview with Channel 4. Do you remember? You'll watch that one, Lee? Surely
I've watched
with Kathy Newman, I think.
Yeah.
And for that half an hour or so, you can see she's struggling to. He's talking so eloquently and so clearly his points that it leaves it. There is no room to sort of hit back at what he's saying clearly enough. So in the end, it becomes half an hour of her saying, "So what you're saying is," and then his replies are, "No, I didn't say that. What I said was this." And then there's that sort of gotcha moment about probably 10 minutes in, which is the really famous bit. But he gets so much criticism and so much hate from the left. But I'm not quite sure why, because if you watch what he's saying, he's not attacking anyone, as far as I can see, unless I'm missing something. He's just stating his points of view with facts, with data, with reports, with scientifically peer-reviewed analysis to make his points. Because remember, he's a clinical psychologist. He ain't no dum-dum. he knows what he's doing. And this all stems back again to my point about social media. There's such this allergic reaction to Elon Musk buying a social media platform. I think it's just because people are scared more than anything else. So there we go.
It's a lost art is talking, debating without arguing. I think everyone wants to have an argument nowadays. I think it's the in thing.
Well, everybody wants to be offended and a victim. But there we go. Abigail Adams is on Facebook. Good evening.
Good evening, Abigail.
Abigail Adams. She was a good guest as well. I'd have Abby back on anytime. So yes, that got quite deep. So I'd be interested to see if Elon Musk. So Elon, if you're watching, you were invited. I'm sure you're probably very busy, running all your companies and flying to the moon and Mars. But if you've got 10 minutes, just pop on.
Come and talk to us about triple glazing.
Ooh, maybe he could sell triple glazing in his SpaceX rockets. Going to Mars.
On Mars. If they're not to ever.
Triple glazing on Mars. Fiona Lund's on Facebook. Good evening, Fiona. Triple glazing on Mars, Lee. There's your angle. That's what you need. There's your in.
When he comes on, I'll bring it up.
What would he do if he came? How would you react if he came on?
I would have to get him on camera straight away. So, Elon, that'd be my first question. Triple glazing, yes or no?
I need to find a way to send him a link to the Zoom meeting that isn't public. But yeah. So yes, it will be interesting to see where Elon Musk goes with that one. So where do you want to go next, Lee? Price increases, trickle vents.
Ooh,
I mean, both are awesome.
I'll tell you what. Let's go trickle vents, and then we can have a bit of fun then, because we might as well get. Let's get the horrible stuff out of the way.
Trickle vents are fun. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
sticking them on tops of windows, ruining the energy efficiency of it.
Some companies will be loving it.
So just Fiona says trickle vents. All right, we'll do trickle vents. Okay, so one of the biggest changes, as I'm sure everybody is delightfully aware, part of building regs is we're going to need to fit more trickle vents in every window, whether it's retrofit or new build. Okay, so as usual, the industry, when it was presented with the consultation paper 18 months ago, decided it was too busy to bother referring and looking at it and putting an input, apart from a handful of people. And lo and behold, when the rules change, the industry gets all pissy and moany about it. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, that's not right. So long and short of it is, there's going to be more trickle vents made and fitted into windows. Now, since then, Certas and Fencer, I believe, have come out with guidance to say that Fiona, I think there's about 4 manufacturer trickle vents. I think there's Glaspark, Greenwoods, Titan. Oh, I'm sure there's one more. I'm pretty sure there's one more, but I forgot the name. So yeah, Certas and Fence have come out with guidance to say that if 30% or less of the windows in a house are being replaced, you don't need to put trickle vents in. So if you've got a house with 10 windows and the customer only wants 2 windows, all right, you don't have to do it. If you've got 4 windows, you have to put trickle vents in. Or if you wanted to replace a house full, say 15, 20 windows, are you really going to go to a client and start to say, well, we'll do 3 at a time or 2 at a time and we'll keep coming back just so we don't have to put trickle vents in? No, it's not practical. Just get on and fit them. Stop moaning. Stop bitching and moaning about it. We had a chance to input it and influence government. We didn't do enough. It is what it is. Get on with it. Fiona, I might get into the manufacturing of trickle vents. Now would be a very good time. Now would be a very good time.
Kev's just joined us. Hey up, Kev.
Hey up, Kev. Bonsoir, sir. Bonsoir, dudes. Bonsoir, Kev. Sod trickle vents. Bollocks, he says. Well, many would
Welcome
agree
back,
with you, Kev.
Welcome back.
I've missed Kev. So this is where I struggle with it. There is an argument for better ventilation. The government has spent the last 20 years telling everybody in every industry to block every hole up in a house. Cavity wall, underfloor, loft, windows, everything. Fill it, make it airtight, keep it as much heating as you can because we need to save people's bills. Fine, get that. And then a pandemic comes along and they realise, warm, stagnant air, trapped inside a house, potentially carrying diseases, not good, we need to get it out. So we need to find ways of ventilation. We'll go down the trickle vent route. So I get the fundamental argument. What I'm struggling with is that one of the other major changes to building regs is U values, and they're being brought down to 1.4. I think either the government is really stupid and haven't realised this, which I refuse to believe. I know Boris is in, but I refuse to believe it. Or they're being negligent of it. Adding a trickle vent to a window will drop the U value to somewhere between 2 or 2.2. Therefore, defeating the object of lower U values. So, Lee, as a fan of this government, can you explain where that logic comes from?
As a fan of this government.
Tell me where.
If there's any logic in anything this government do, I'm yet to find any. On any position they've ever had.
Listen, Dwayne Rogers from Vitrine's on. We've spoke to builders who are not asking or bothered about trickle vents or U values. And do you know what, Dwayne? I bet there's a lot doing that because they know full well the chances of being caught are slim to none.
So who's policing it then?
No one.
Who's supposed to police it?
I don't know that either. No.
So nobody, basically.
Well, okay. So the trade bodies have said really.
Will you be able to sell your house if it's not done correctly?
Well, okay. So this is where the grey areas in the future are going to become a problem.
But that could cause some massive issues with house owners.
Well, it should be, your likes of Certas and Fencer to police it, because when an installer registers a job, they have to show, they've put fire escape, tough and safety glass. They have to show compliance in a job. That's the whole point of a self-certification scheme, is to say to the body, we've done things right. We've done it to the rule book. If you've got installers knowingly after June 15th fitting windows and doors without trickle vents, they won't know how, because either an installer will just say, yeah, I fitted them, knowing full well that because the number of site inspections an installer gets by trade bodies is small. It's a handful a year. That's it. So they can lie easily and get away with it. They're not. No one will know.
Before we go any deeper, Jason, and we've got a few people here now, I'm just going to return because we didn't get many answers. We only had a few. Seeing as though it's a virtual bar, I've got to get my catchphrase in as many times as possible today. What's everyone drinking? I've got, thanks to the kind heart of Jason, anyone who calls him a dick are wrong. Look what he's bought me, bless him. Nice bottle of Grey Goose. What an hero. What an hero.
You work terribly hard, mate, and I love you to pieces. So
I'm enjoying it. That's my favourite tipple, that. So thank you, Jason. What's everyone drinking tonight?
I'm on Brewdog's Basic Shake IPA. We've got a lot of comments in, so let me just swerve through some of these comments.
Yeah, go through that while everyone's answering. I just thought, lighten mood a bit before, because this is going to be...
you're fine. So I'll be saying...
This is going to be a very serious subject.
This one's getting comments by the bucketful. Okay, so Abigail Adams, they're trying to legislate for stupidity. It's not a long-term solution. Go on, Abby. Fiona, road to net zero. Yes, total clash. It is a total clash. You can't, on the one hand, say make your product as efficient as possible, and then go stick all these holes in them. Unless the LABC are fully on it, the CPS schemes are going to be up to it in their knees. This is true. It's unpoliceable. It's just not going to happen. Fiona Lee, the best question: who is policing this? Who is policing if an IGU has argon, for example? How many inspectors or the offshoots companies to research? This is a good point. I mean, Fiona says that it's not just trickle vents, by the way. Who is checking for argon gas? Who is checking for all the other elements that you have to abide by? Fire escapes. A fencer an installer will get 3 fencer inspections a year. That's it. So a good installer might do 250 installs a year on average, and they get 3 checked. That means there's 247 installations that could be non-compliant, couldn't have trickle vents, could be missing all sorts of stuff. You're relying on the goodwill of the installer to do things
I've
right.
got 2 questions for you in a minute. Kev's on his own brew, by the way.
Good lad, well done. It's cheaper.
Well done, Kev. Kev's got some. He sent me some cider once. That were lovely. My neighbour had half for it. He were well impressed. So, going back to that first question I asked you, first of all, will it affect selling your home in future? Because this could cause some, if it does, could cause some massive problems.
Well, so yes and no.
Police it that way, because let's be honest, that's the only way you can police it. And that will come down to consumers demanding it.
If you've got a consumer that is shit hot at regs and knowing what's what, yes, it could be a problem. However...
No, but what I'm saying is, it's like, to be able to sell your home now, you've got to be, your electrics have got to be bang on. You've got to have certain certifications. You've got to have so much insulation. You know, there's certain things that you can't sell your house unless you've got proof that things... So will that come under that scenario in the next few years, where if you haven't had your windows done...
Maybe. But the one thing a person selling a house can do is they can just get an indemnity insurance for 50 quid or 100 quid. And that basically covers... Because I did it for... I saw my first house. We put a veranda on it. And there was an issue on the veranda for some reason. Someone was saying, "Oh, you needed planning permission." You didn't, but for safety, we just got an indemnity.
That could be the decision between someone buying your house and not, who's put a bid in, saying, "Well, this hasn't been done." Then you could lose a sale, and then we come back to building a reputation up at the industry and doing things right and making sure that we're not the bad boys of the home improvement trades. Again, if you're not looking at the long-term future of the industry, you don't really care, but a lot of us are.
Yeah, Kev's just said the same thing. You get insurance from a solicitor. You just buy an indemnity policy, so when you're selling the house, if there's any sort of comebacks after you've sold the house, you're covered. It doesn't ping back on you.
But
So
but what I'm saying is that might make me as the buyer, insurance from their point of view is fine, but I wouldn't be happy. It'd probably make me think twice about that or the other house that had got everything done right. Or making the decision between both.
So Kev on YouTube saying you get insurance from a solicitor. Then Abby's saying on Facebook, an indemnity only protects the solicitor, not the customer. Michael Hagan, trickle vents should have U values. Trickle vent manufacturers have dragged their heels on making better products because they didn't have to and didn't want to spend the money on R&D. That's true. Trickle vents have only been mandatory in new build for a while, not in residential, unless they've already got them. So up until now, there's never been an actual reason to really have to have trickle vents. But I put this to you in a different angle here, Lee. I was speaking to another fabricator a few weeks ago, and they were telling me that over in Europe, they take trickle vents more seriously. They have properly made, high quality, well specified ones. They cost about €30 each, but they are chalk and cheese compared to the £2 injection moulded ones we make. He says, yes, they're expensive, but they look better, they perform better. But again, in Europe, they take it more seriously. So people don't mind having trickle vents over there.
So here's my second question. Where is most of the... how can I put this? Where's most of the resistance coming from?
Well, funnily enough, Sam in the comments has just put, I did a personal poll with consumers, and I have to say that everyone I spoke to, so consumers, hates trickle vents. Totally useless.
I guess that were obviously that's come from a poll from what Sam's done. my question is obviously is the resistance coming from consumers? Is it coming from installers because it's a pain? Is it coming from fabricators? I mean, I understand there's different issues along the lines of every area. But it'd be quite interesting to know where most of the resistance is coming from, or is it literally like just nobody wants them?
I've got to be honest, speaking to all parts of the supply chain, I think the resistance is coming from most places. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of homeowners that don't like them. Installers, I've not seen many that do like them. There's one or two who try and see it as, and quite rightly, as an opportunity to say, look, I understand, there's a bit of juxtaposition against the battle about energy efficiency, but, ventilation is still important in a house. There's resistance from fabricators because they have to change the way they make the windows. And there's resistance. I saw some sarcastic tweets from a systems company a while ago, saying that they've spent millions of pounds developing their window system to be as efficient as possible, and just for holes to be drilled out of it. The people for it, of course, are the people who make trickle vents, as you can imagine, and the government, who brought forward the legislation. So, yeah, I've got to be honest. I cannot see Abigail. Guys, happy to jump. Abby's really ripping into comments on Twitter here, on Facebook even. She's loving it. Do you know what I haven't done, Lee? I haven't gone onto Twitter and check Twitter, because we're probably getting some comments on there as well. So let me just fly onto there. Okay, so this is from Sash Windowman on Twitter. 80% of replies to government were housing associations. They voted for trickle vents. The industry has itself to blame. Totally agree. And this is where, again, I struggle to get on board with the industry's criticism. We had a long time as an industry to get together as one, as a unified voice, to come up with a point of view and an opinion to influence government. but we didn't, because we never do, because that just isn't how we behave. So on Twitter, Sash Windowman is saying to me, 80% of replies to the government were from housing associations. This, I assume, is in response to the consultation paper. They voted for trickle vents. So because we couldn't get off our backside and mobilise as a unit properly, other people and other industries made the decision for us. And will we learn? No. We'll do it again. We'll see another consultation paper. We'll see another white paper and go, that looks boring. And somebody else will make the decision for us. It really frustrates me, this. I'm going to have to say it now. So this industry is paralysed by self-interest, politics, cliques, egos, pettiness to the point where when things like this happen, where it requires you to get together, set things aside and come up with a common position as one industry with one voice, we can't do it. And a good friend of mine told me about another sector he works in. And he says that they have a lot more trade associations and bodies in this other sector than we do, and it's a smaller sector. Yet they are able to put things to one side, arguments and egos and cliques and allegiances, and go, right, this is for the good of this industry. Let's come together in a single voice which has more influence with government. We can't do that. We cannot do that. We're allergic to it. We just cannot. We do not have it within us to be able to do that. And now, what you've got, and this trickle vent situation is a perfect example of where, had we gone to government as a unified voice, became motivated, became educated, got learned, and gone to government with a singular, powerful voice, this conversation might be very different. But we didn't. And now we're bitching and moaning about it on podcasts because we're having to fit trickle vents when we don't want to. There we go. That's my rant on it, Lee.
Well, before we finish this subject off, I'll lighten mood a little bit.
I thought it was fairly light-hearted. Oh, God. When Lee laughs like that, I get worried.
Right, here we are. Why couldn't the pony sing a lullaby? Because she was a little horse. We're back.
Yes.
We're back.
Oh, we've had a lot more comments. Let me just rifle through some of these because we've had quite a lot. Right. So.
Here's a good one.
Oh, go on then. Go on.
I've invented a new word.
Oh, yeah.
Plagiarism.
Could use that one in a more serious matter. Right, we've had a load of comments here, mate. Let me rifle through some of these because Dwayne Rogers, I had French doors in my old house that were installed by a friend of mine. Not questioned once. Same with electrics. They just said, oh, the fuse box is new. Lol. Kevin, Velux windows have a great trickle function when you can reach them. Well, I'm knackered there, Kev. Michael Hagan, resistance is coming from installers. Since February, I've had 2 homeowners say they don't want them. Callum Williams, something I have seen happen in the past. For the homeowner who hates them, vents in sashes. A second sash manufactured and fitted after the initial install with the vent sashes saved. That's a workaround. Not cheap, but it's a workaround. Sounds like there was a pile of trickle vents that weren't shifting, so put in some legislation and hey presto. That's from Ducky. Some piled like 2 million trickle vents in a warehouse somewhere that needed shifting. Government only brought legislation from lobbying. Yeah. I think that's how most legislation gets to happen, to be fair. Sam Hill, I think homeowners know when to open their own windows. Well, yeah, agree with that. That is why this is from Kev. This is why this is not an industry. We're more of a cottage setup with dog eat jog. Yeah, I don't want to have to agree with Kev, but I do. And me and Lee were talking about this Wednesday, I think. I follow quite a lot of the American glazing sector, companies and media. And all right, by volume, they're a much bigger sector in terms of money. But they approach their craft and their industry with so much more professionalism. There's no back. Again, I'm not in America, but I'd like to think I'm following enough of them to understand kind of how it works. And I've got a few contacts over there anyway, and I don't sense any backstabbing, petty politics. The things that our industry suffers from, the unprofessionalism, the cowboy installers, I'm sure there are some over there, but they're just so much more professional in their approach to the job. They're not just saying, "Oh, it's just windows, isn't it?" You know, it's you know, it's as professional as financial institutions and sport and politics. You know, they give a shit about it. Sorry, we've had Facebook comments here as well. Sorry. We have legislated for the most because we have self-centered, self-focused individuals who are happy to protect themselves. We needed to show intelligence. This is all from Abby. The industry is still dirty. It needs cleaning up. Happy to stick my neck out. No, I think...
Who said that?
This is from Abby. The industry is still dirty. I don't want to have to agree with Abby, but I do agree with Abby. There is, sadly, there's a large... Yeah, all right. There is quite a large section of this industry that is not doing it the American way, shall we say. But yeah, talk to me privately if you want to have a chat about that one. So there we go. Fiona is Ducky there. Yeah, Ducky's on YouTube. Fiona, he's in the comments on YouTube. So we've got some viewers on FaceTube, and a few more on YouFace.
So here's something a little bit off topic and more about what we're doing. I don't want to take too much time up on this. But everyone knows that we've got Fenex and NFAs. So before I start on Fenex, NFAs nominations end next week. It's crept up. We've shortened the nomination phase, so you've got longer to vote once you make the finals. Don't forget to get your nominations in for the top companies.
Absolutely. Lee, sorry, Fiona Lund wants to say hi to Ian. So Fiona on Facebook wants to say hi to Ian on YouTube. So Ian, Fiona, Ian.
There we go. Connecting people.
That's what we're here to do, pal. So yeah, so let me get this right, Lee. I think it's Sunday, May the 8th. Nominations close, I believe. That's the dates on the website. Yes, get your vote. We've had a stupid amount of nominations, I believe. Stupid amount.
Absolutely ridiculous again. Great numbers. So I just thought I'd give a quick nudge on that. And because it's been so long since we last had one, we've actually launched a live trade show, which is going to be back at Telford for Fenex in 2023. So anyone who hasn't seen us out and about and who hasn't received the brochures that we've sent out, we're at Telford April next year for a live show. We've got loads of stuff planned. We've got the third hall that we're going to be doing all sorts of... It's not just going to be stands and exhibitors there. There's going to be all sorts going off.
A lot of engaging, interactive stuff that you can get involved with.
We have giant screen, an installer zone. There's all sorts. We'll tell you more in the next few weeks. I don't want to be stealing too much of the thunder because there's another show next week, which we're not scared of talking about, unlike vice versa.
Whoa, so we're doing in it like Fight Club.
They're not allowed to talk about us, but we will say we hope that our customers have a great
Absolutely.
show next week at the Fit Show.
Absolutely.
So hopefully it'll go well for them.
I'll be on holiday, mate, that week. We're off to Centre Parks with swimming pools and bars and restaurants, so I'll be having my feet up.
Good for you. So like I said, good luck to the customers who are going to Fit. Not going to talk about this too much this week because I just want to let people know because it's a long time we've launched since the last. We weren't launched when the last one came out. When we did the last podcast.
Christmas was the last one.
So we're in Telford next year. There's all sorts of new stuff which we'll be telling you more about as we go along.
There'll be a lot of new stuff to see this time next year. A lot of new stuff.
And we've got some software and an app for the exhibitors and the visitors as well that will be ready within the next 3-4 weeks.
Callum says, is there going to be shot bars? Shot for every time triple glazing is disputed.
Callum, we will make sure there's a shot bar.
We could name it the triple glazing shot bar.
Triple shot bar.
Triple shot.
Triple shot bar.
Who wants to sponsor that one?
So, keep your eyes open on that. We're going to be talking a lot more about that in the coming weeks, but we'll not concentrate on that too much because there's another show coming up.
Correct.
We'll leave them to get on with what they're doing for now.
Should we stick with the industry? So
Sorry, I was leading to something else with that.
Sorry, go on, mate.
I got on a tangent. What we are going to do probably in a couple of months' time, around the summertime, is we're going to have one of the old tweet and meet style meetups. We've been talking about doing a live one of these. So we're going to have a live couple of hour podcast video cast where we're going to have a live audience in a bar somewhere in the Midlands, probably somewhere central. So everyone's welcome. And we're going to do a bit of a press launch of the show as well. So we'll let you know more about that as and when we organise that. But that'll be sometime July, maybe?
I think July, probably is a good time.
We'll let you know more about that anyway. But
God, can you imagine this live with an audience, mate? It'd be carnage.
a live video cast, live audience, loads of drinks, but we will be having a bit of a press conference as well. So,
drinks before or after the press conference?
Both. During, and after. So we will we'll let you know more about that. But
very good. Very good.
But like I said, for the customers, I know there's 3 shows. I think there's one at Harrogate. There's the Grand Designs, and then obviously there's a Fit Show. So any of our customers that are going, hope you have a cracking show.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone you're going to.
100%. So Dwayne Rogers, sorry, some vitrines of vitrines there. He's saying looking forward to exhibiting. Absolutely, vitrine, by the way, one of the shining stars of aluminium fabrication. Onwards and upwards, brand new business. They, by the way, Callum, it'll be more like TFI Friday, but more.
We will
carnage.
actually get a live band playing as well. I'm going to get one at local bands to come and play.
That's a good idea. Sorry, we're saying so. Vitrine, that Dwayne and Fradders at Vitrine, they're going to be at Fenex in Telford. But we need more people like them, young, inspired, motivated, doing things the right way, trying to make an impact. Anybody who hasn't spoken with, if you need aluminium, or even if you just want to get some energy. Fiona's just saying.
Top team and NFA winners.
This is it. Go see him. But if you want to see where the future of the industry is and how it should be run and the type of people that need to work in it, go talk to Dwayne, go talk to Fradders, Paul, because they will give you energy. They have that much energy. They will give you some, and you'll leave and you'll think, yeah, all right, this is cool. Fiona's just saying, just chatting offline with Ducky, and he would like to make an insightful comment on the future of IGs when it's appropriate. Ducky, put it in the YouTube comment section now, what you want to say, pal, and I'll read it out.
By the way, one last thing before we get back to topics. I do want to give a big welcome to one of our new team members as well.
Yes.
Sarah Rogers, who has joined us at Fenex. Well, she'll be working across all the brands, Fenex, NFAs, and Fen Digital, but mainly Fenex. So welcome, Sarah.
Welcome aboard, Sarah. I heard you've settled in pretty well as well.
You'll get to meet Sarah. She's lovely. And she's going to be an absolute superstar in this industry.
Excellent.
So
very good.
Yeah, there you go. What's Ducky and Fiona want to talk about? Sorry.
Fiona was just saying Ducky wants to. Fiona, welcome, Sarah. Good to have more women. Absolutely. I maintain that women are better in this industry than the men.
We've got, how many have we got now in our team, Jason? We've got Diane, so
5,
Sarah,
6,
Anna, Nicola, and Helen. 6.
6 to 2.
6 out of 9. 6 out of 8.
Yeah, so we're outnumbered vastly. But I've got to say, they're all better than us. So,
not going to get any arguments there.
No, they're more organised, they're more insightful, they've got better ideas. I mean, we're pretty pointless, really, aren't we, at this point, Lee? But yeah.
We'll bring that up actually later, women in the industry, because I know we've touched on it before, but I think we're getting to the point now where we've got some very, very prominent key people, ladies in the industry now, who are making an impact.
It's Abigail and Fiona on the comments on Facebook. Fiona saying diversity is getting better, but we still need to make construction as a whole more appealing. I agree, and it's not for. I think quotas is the wrong way to go about it, because it just is for a number of reasons. But as me and Lee know firsthand, we know women are better in a lot of positions within a business, and I think construction, for the sake of being better in itself as an entire sector, really needs to be getting smart about getting more women on board, because they do a hell of a job. And it just makes sense to have more women involved. It just does. So yeah, totally agree with you, Fiona. Absolutely.
We'll come on to that more later on, by the way.
We will. So, do we dare go down the rabbit hole of price increases?
Yeah, but let's have a bit of light-heartedness first before we get... We've had trickle vents. Let's not get on to prices as well just yet.
Abigail Adams, we just do it better. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You're not telling us anything me and Lee don't already know. So there we
go. Here we go. Bit of a kind of one that leans on the industry slightly.
Yes.
Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock joke? He won the Nobel Prize.
Oh dear me. Well,
they get worse, don't they?
Well, I have missed them. I have missed them.
Dregs today.
I have missed them. It doesn't, Sam Hill. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. It's the fire that makes a difference. No, I agree with Sam as well. It's, and that's why I said quotas is bad, because you may end up, whether it's male or female, you may end up forcing people to be in an industry where either they're not suited or they're the wrong candidate for that position. They have to be the right person, whether they're male or female. But again, only speaking from experience, I have found women to be more organised, creative, focused, just, getting shit done. Men can kind of, we start things and, we could be creative, but we start things, we don't finish things, things are a bit messy, we're not organised. So, there's talents to both. So, Abigail, whoa, price increases and management. I think Abby wants to get into I think Abby's got an opinion on the price increases.
Just hang fire a bit, Abby. Let's not get... We've got to have a little bit of fun on these. Can't just jump from trickle vents to prices. That's just going to be too much doom.
Sam Hill, right seat, right person. Totally agree. Out of interest, Sam, if you were watching earlier about... Oh, Mark, what about they? No. let's. Yeah, this isn't a podcast for that. I don't think. But Sam's just said there, right seat, right person. One of Jordan Peterson's more famous, and this again goes back to the free speech thing. He's debating with a woman, I think in Australia, about representative democracy and having women at 50% and so on. And he brings up a point about bricklaying, which is a noble profession. It's hard work and it's a hard job. And he posed the question: should we have quotas to have 50% bricklayers be women? Jordan Peterson's argument was, well, perhaps more men are more inclined to do that job than women, so it's perhaps wrong to try and force that position to be on them. And it started a whole world of.
I think you were talking about the kind of jobs that people want, not what they're forced to do.
Yeah, his argument basically is around that is,
that men tend to lean towards
men and women. Yeah,
physical jobs, whereas the psyche of women is they'd rather do. It's not always about the money in a job; it's about the jobs they want to do.
Well, essentially, yeah. His argument is, men and women are more inclined through their now natural sort of biology and instincts to go one way or the other on a job. And his argument was, if that's, he says that, Jordan Peterson said that is scientifically proven. I think his argument was, to argue for quotas.
Well, Sam's just saying that now. Is that right? Is that right? See, I don't know how many women will want to do it. Probably not. And this is what he's getting across is, I think, and this is just psychology in general, and this is based on the millions of papers he's probably studied, is that there's a psychology of men will do whatever pays the most money, whether they like it or not, whereas a lot of female or creative thinking males as well will do a job that they don't particularly get paid or they can't get as high in the career, but they enjoy it. And that's the psychology of persona. That's the psychology of people.
Yeah,
you can't fill quotas with people who don't want to do that kind of work.
No, exactly.
85 hours.
Exactly, and that's Sam's. I assume that's Sam's point there. Right seat, right person. What's the point of forcing someone to do something if they're not right for that job? So we've got some more comments. Then we need to look at pay differentiation. Yes, we do.
What about while we're finishing off this subject, on a bit more light-hearted, before we go to some serious topics, I want to know how many people are looking at going back on holiday this year abroad. How many people are thinking about getting back to foreign holidays?
Me. Going on 2. Sorry, you've got some more comments here. So, yes, but when you're talking about a strategic position, this is from Sam Hill, then it needs to be the right seat. If that's a woman, then there shouldn't be obstacles. Agreed. Totally agree.
Yeah, but I'm interested in.
What are you saying sorry for, Sam? Don't be saying sorry.
I'm interested in who's planning on going away this year to get an idea of if anyone's. Are we getting back to some sort of normality? Are people looking at getting back on the travels, or are we waiting a bit more, or what's appertaining on that sort of thing?
I bet you want to get back to Portugal.
Do you know what? We're talking about this to my neighbour yesterday. I don't think I will get away this year. Or until next summer. Too busy. I'll have a weekend at the coast somewhere here with my kids, but I think that'll be it.
Mark's saying he's away for work.
Not that I don't want to. It's that I don't think I will have the time this year, which is a shame, really, because I would love. I'd like to go back to Greece this year if I had time.
Kev. The wife's just come back from 10 days in Crete. I was at work, but it felt like a holiday. Oh, dear. Oh, Mark's been to the glass show in Brazil.
Ah.
So, oh, Sam, I meant to say I agree with you, Jason, and not Lee. Ah, oh, there we go. We'll have that. We'll take that. Ian saying Thailand is still waking up from COVID dream. Well, there you go. And Abby on Facebook, it's a tricky one to discuss without female input. I think what we could do, Lee, is perhaps either the next one or the one after. We have we tackle the women's subject with someone like Abby, or maybe a panel of women on there, because obviously, you know, we have our opinion, but we ain't women. We've not experienced what they've experienced, so we can only sort of comment on it from an outsider and try and be as
get a proper perspective.
Yeah.
You know what.
All right. So Abby, while you're on and you're watching, would you be part? I'm sure she would be, but would you be part of discussing that particular subject? And I reckon we can get maybe a couple more later to agree to that.
Sam might do, maybe.
And Sam maybe as well, yes. Yeah, so
I'm sure there's a few people in the industry that we know that will be happy to come on and talk on that side of things and discuss it. I think so. I think it's very...
Yeah, let's get it done. In fact, I think that will be a first for its kind in this industry. I don't think we'll have had such a discussion.
Are you getting any... sorry, I've got a question for Mark. Are you getting any diving in when you go to Brazil, Mark? I know he's into his diving, is Mark.
Right. Samantha Hill, yes, women don't print their banners backwards. See, right, if I do this, that's fine. But I didn't necessarily have it printed. I really should have thought about this. That was printed for like shows and stuff. So when we do to the NFA winners event and stuff like that. So when people look at it like that, it's fine. So
Sammy, thought we were getting some free advertising in. That's what he did. He's rushed it. He put, I'll put my banner out, get some free advertising.
Sash Window Man on Twitter he's got 3 golf trips. 1 in Dubai, 2 in Portugal. Very nice.
Very good. Very nice.
I think there's appetite, mate, looking at Facebook for people to have that sort of women's panel on this particular subject. So I think, yes, we'll do that. And as for Abby, the closing work for a week to reward everyone. All the team will be away. That's nice as a reward. Mate, I think we could have quite a big panel here. I think, judging by the enthusiasm for the...
Let's go for it. We need to get something going. Going back to what Kev said, by the way, Crete, that's my favourite place, that Crete. Missed out there, Kev. Should have been going.
Justin Radcliffe from Cab is on. Good evening, Justin. Hope you're well, pal.
Justin, he's not at Cab anymore.
Marky Cox, I thought the banner was in Russian.
Jason, Justin's not at Cab anymore.
Sorry, Justin. Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up there. Sorry, pal. But good evening, Justin, anyway. Thank you for watching. Mark thinks the banner is in Russian. Well... oh, dear. There we go. So Sammy's up for it, the panel.
Here you go. Happy days.
I think...
We might have a proper organised podcast for that rather than a Friday night one.
Why?
Well, just because it'd be good if we did it professionally and got some...
no, but it could be... I don't know. Well, ask the people taking part. Do you want a dedicated one or do you want to do it on a Friday night? I think we could have every woman on here. Sorry, Babs, Babsi. Babsy. Sorry, not Cab, Babsy. A ladies' podcast.
Oh, there you go. Sarah's just commented. Our new Sarah.
Also studying HR, which I'm studying for the gender pay gap. Sorry, guys, won't carry this on. No, don't. Sarah, this is the beauty about these podcasts. You could talk about anything you want, and no one will judge you.
Sarah,
and in the words of Elon Musk, it's all about free speech.
When we come to peer review, selective memory and all that.
Abigail's offering to host this one, the next one.
Hey, listen,
I can just sit back and
we'll sit back and discuss. I think that's a good idea. I think it's a great idea, having a guest host.
Okay, so Abby, do we do this on a Friday night where we've got drinks and we can talk openly, or do we have it a bit more of a straight-laced affair? Or not? I think we should do it on a Friday myself, just because I think the drinks help people talk a bit more relaxed, and you get. Marky Cox, can these attend? Mark, I'm not going down that route. I've got an opinion on it, but I'm not going down it because, you know, in this wokish world, me and Lee might get cancelled because we have an opinion.
I mean, well, I'm not going to go into deep into it because there's no point. But I think it's very open. I think we need to discuss it. May get discussed in this. I think there's a and I think the people who are putting themselves forward for this tonight have probably got people they know would like to get involved as well.
Well, so Fiona's just said here on Facebook. So Sarah, Abigail, Sam, and Fiona. So there's 4 people there. So stick us in.
And I'm sure they've got people they know that would get involved. I think there's a bigger subject in this. I think it needs.
Well, we've got 4 there, mate, already, haven't we? So Sarah, Abigail, Sam, and Fiona. And if they want to bring,
what I'm saying is, I think there should be more. I think it could be open to a group of people where it could be a very large subject. But I think it's what we'll do. If it's all right with you, ladies, we'll touch base with you over the next couple of weeks regarding it and get something organised.
How many people can you host on a Zoom? Is it 20?
Up to 100 on the accounts that you pay for.
Oh, God, right, okay.
And you have to get another licence on top of that for anything over that.
Right.
So
well, I'd like to keep it below 100 if I can.
I don't know. Hey, listen, it'd be lovely to have 100 people speaking about it.
Well, looking at Facebook, everyone we've just mentioned there appears happy to do it. Fiona's saying getting it too large though, Lee, means nothing happens. There is a point there. I think if you get too many people, the debate you don't really move anywhere.
We'll have a look. We'll be in touch with you all anyway the next week or two, and we'll throw some ideas out and we'll get something sorted.
I think you could easily get 8 or 10 people on here though. On this. It's just how many is too many to keep the conversation flowing.
I'm looking forward to doing that. And like you say, it's good. I think someone like Abigail to host it rather than us, I think that'd be brilliant. Well,
she volunteered it. She said it now. She can't not say it. So she hasn't got a choice now. Abby's saying keep the group small. So maybe 5, 6, 7 of us maybe. And
yeah, we'll get a few. We'll be right. We'll not go too daft.
Okay.
But no, that's good. See, straight away coming back on these sort of stuff, when you get stuff like this going on, it's good. It's good to get that debate.
I'm telling you, there's nothing else like this. Nothing.
Good to get when things like that come of it, and we can get people together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about, and it's good. So yeah, we'll definitely be in touch, ladies.
Callum Williams on YouTube, genuinely so naive to the pay gap, and I don't understand why someone would be paid differently or less purely based on their gender. I work on logic, and I don't see any logic in that whatsoever. And Callum, totally agree. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you're doing the same work, you should be paid the same. But if you read government reports and insights into